Good morning, everybody. Not seen you for a while. Sorry about that. Just going to do a 10-minute game because I've got a call in 21 minutes. So there we go. The Bishop's opening. And actually, I looked at Opening Tree yesterday, and the Calabrese Countergambit is remarkably effective in real life practice against the Bishop's opening. So what I did was I went on openingtree.com, recommended, do it, to check, and I think I went back to the 1st of January 2023 to see which openings had been the most effective for me. So here, this pawn is defended twice, so I can just hit the bishop, and now I can win this pawn back. And we've already got our knight installed on f6, so we're not worried about queenie coming out. This pawn is presently undefended, can be defended with queen d6, queen e7, knight d7. So we're all good. So I've been playing a load of blitz in the last week, and time for this move. It really will. I mean, if you look at my profile, it's a chess.com, is it? /account or whatever /benhunt72. I've had some wild results. I've had games with like over 40 moves at 95 accuracy, and I've had games in the 60s where it's rated me, 800. It's bonkers, absolutely. I'm just inclined to get this knight out. Reason why? I know it's getting in the queen's way to some degree, and I know it's technically actually also losing that pawn. Yeah. Bugger. Right. Cock, didn't think that through, did I? Because I blocked my own queen's defence of that pawn. If I'd have played c6 first, that would have been much better. Here, get my pawn structure. c6, defend the pawn a second time, then this knight comes out, defends this knight, and this pawn. That would have been fine. But in the end, I blocked. Okay, he's going to move away now. Because I'm talking to you, this is why it don't work. Yeah, really interesting results. So, I pulled up Opening Tree, I looked at everything that I've played. I was looking at black, actually. So I wanted to figure out whether, because I've been playing Blitz, I've gone right back to the old Freddy Krueger repertoire. The old Russo and Janish, and even f5 against the Vienna, the Marcellus Wallace that somebody mentioned to me the other day. Again, I remind. And the f5 against the Scotch as well. And I've been doing all right. I've had some good games. I've had some howlers. That's why we do it. It's fun. Okay, so he's retreated there, has he? Okay. I quite like this idea. This bishop could come here or here. I think here. Now, the problem with this light square bishop is it's even stopping me castling short anyway. So I think it's time to put the question to this guy. Even if nothing else, I might gain some space. Now, I'm now starting to think that I might castle long, just because of this inconvenience here. And I haven't got an easy way. I mean, I guess that. But if I start doing that, what's he going to do? He's going to push a3 or even a4. And then what's the point of pushing a5? Okay, so he's gone back. Now, we could go for a spatial invasion. Space invaders. Right? This does unpin my knight, which is a thought. Let's just keep developing for now. This doesn't work because it's attacked twice. So I'm a pawn down, because I'm a knob. Okay. This is now a pin on the pawn. So I think the easy option there is queen e7. Unpin the pawn. Bishop g4 hits queen, but then f3 is a tempo response. But that does open up the knight. However, white still has the option to go long as well. So what is it? Opponent's 1507 here. I'm 1525. But I'm playing this like I'm playing a 5-minute blitz. That's the problem. Okay. That is a second attacker against this, so I think we just drop the bishop back and have a second defender. And I think my next intention is to long castle. Is g5 better now? Never neglect to consider a move, even on subsequent turns, that you've... Okay, here. If he takes, I've got queen takes. If I've got takes, I've got knight or bishop takes. And then also, if this pawn takes, notice queen's looking at d1, so that's goodbye yellow brick road. This pawn is now starting to act somewhat as a battering ram. So you thought that e-pawn was a liability. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a threat. Now, if I was to castle and say, here, have my bishop, and then I have this. Bishop blocks doesn't work. Knight blocks doesn't work. Should we do it, just for shits and giggles? Come on, let's do it. He's also got that, but same issue in a way. No, there I'm attacking twice. So my threat is either rook coming to e8 because of this alignment issue. That's one of the cool things about chess. Quite often, something that happens can seem to be a threat, but sometimes can turn out to be a liability. Or an asset and liability in economic terms, isn't it? Notice that's undefended and there's no dark squared bishop. I also have no dark squared bishop. Ha! Well, two rooks in the centre. I'm keeping this rook on d8. That's a no-brainer. The reason is because it's an open file. There's no pawns of either colour on that file. Okay. So now I declare that I can now win back this pawn. Opponent, however, can capture with a knight with a disco on my queen. But then I can come here. Haha! Hang on. If I take there and he takes with the knight, I still have check. And then I've got queen on this square. Yes, that works. Also, notice if the king goes here, I might even have a double attack with the king and a discovery on the queen and the knight attacking the queen. So even if d takes the knight, I get the queen, eh? You notice the point at which I've stopped thinking there. I didn't even think about that. Just did it. I just done it, innit? I just done it. I didn't even think, I just done it. However, I am still down a pawn, because I've now lost that pawn. But what I have here is I have what we call compensation. I'm going to win back the knight, right? Oh, because if he does that, it's goodbye queen. And I confess, guys, I'm no royalist, so I don't shed a tear. I take queen, pawn takes queen, I take knight. Could also take knight with rook. Am I going to get my pawn back? That's the very least I'm looking for. This knight's going to improve itself. Notice I've got the better rooks, you see. I take queen, he's going to have an ISO pawn. Isolation. I don't know why you're thinking, because you've got to recapture. Unless there's an in-between check, which there ain't. So F takes, I take this knight now, and I didn't really think very hard about taking with the rook, because I want to keep my rooks together. they're in such dominant positions. Actually, now we have a completely open f-file, so it might even be the case, particularly seeing as the only remaining bishop on my opponent's team is the light squared, to get this chap here. Okay, so appears to be a hanging pawn, but then rook here is a skewer, and I can't come back here and attack this rook because the knight guards that square. So, or another idea is to develop the knight, which I quite like, here, and try and make the case that actually in an endgame with one knight against one bishop, a knight has an edge. The the pawns are on both sides of the board, however. So this merits careful thought, Holmes. There I don't win a pawn. He comes to g1, and this pawn shall fall. Yes, and I don't think there's a damn thing I can do about it. I'm kind of inclined to play this move. Pressurize the bish. If he takes, I take. And that's a jolly good knight. It's a good night from me. It's a good night from him. We don't quite make comedy like that anymore. We had another classic British comedy sketch came up, and I know that some of you will know this. If you haven't, so the gag was, I'm making all the right moves, but not necessarily in the right order. Okay, which comes from an absolute mint Morecambe and Wise sketch. Okay, this is interesting. Okay, so we have rook tension. I'll come back to that. And no, well, just before, if you haven't seen it, look up Morecambe and Wise, Andre Previn. Brilliant. Now I'm inclined to take the bishop. Yes, it doubles his pawn slightly. Now, if I take here, right, if he does that, I can deflect the rook away. But what if I take here? He can't do that. I think I can win this pawn, actually. I think that's changed things because the knight is no longer looking at this square. Or can he initiate? I think he can. He takes, I take, then he does this. But now also this rook's looking at that pawn. Oh, that pawn's now defended. Oh my gosh. Right, now that the bishop's moved, my rook looks at e3, but it is also defendified. Gosh, goodness me. Yeah, look it up, the Andre preview sketch, right? Now, also, fun fact, Previn, who's one of the world's top orchestral conductors at the time, we're talking mid-80s here, maybe even early 80s, he got given the script when he landed at the airport and looked at the script in the cab from the airport to the TV studio. And so it's take this first. If king takes, I have check. Oh, if king takes, I can move the bishop with check. If rook takes, I can move the bishop with an attack. I've also got this if I want it. And I think I am going to grab it. I love knights. I'm a big old fan of knights. I won't lie. And I've now got my pawn back. Yeah, so Previn read the script in the cab and they did it in one take. Absolutely mint. Okay. I've got this. I've got this, he'll probably go here, then I've got g5, or rook here or whatever. But this pawn is going to be a liability. Maybe I should just try and attack the rook. So attack the knight and thereby attack this pawn. So here, I'm threatening to take the knight, bang, and then boomerang, yeah? There's no point tickling the rook. Don't tickle a piece for... Oh, cock it. Bugger it. And that's your fault again. There's a common theme here. It's always you. Because I'm talking to you about Andrew Preview. And what I'm doing here is I'm stopping the rook going there, I think is the idea. Tits. Rook can't go here. He can't go there. Oh, I've fluffed this up, boys and girls. Terrible. I think I've got this. And if this pawn never moves, I can just jam my pawns in like that. And he's going to have a job. It ain't the end of the world. Even this, takey, this, bang, bang, advances, doesn't work. One of them takes. In fact, pawn takes, and we've still got a solid structure. Pawn defends bishop, bishop defends pawn. I think b5 might come. And he's down to 2 minutes, and there's no increment. I've been winning games on time recently. Got to get my Magnus on now. Okay. This pawn is going to be a liability. This rook can't defend the pawn from that square or that square. Therefore, he's got to defend it from the rear. And that does not really suit the rook, I would argue. King here defends this square as well. Here, and actually you've got no way to defend the pawn from the king. Because you can't take there, takes. And exactly. Now what are you going to do? Now what have you got? Okay, so he's going to come round here and attack this pawn. Okay. Here he goes there. I come across and I'm going to target this guy. I've got no choice. This bishop can be here and defend both of these. And thereby, yeah, I know. There, I take, he take, no he can't take. There, E, now there I take with probably the pawn actually. And then my promotion square is covered by the bishop. So it's not all that, you know. And opponent is down to a minute and I've got 3 minutes before my call. That's a free pawn. You're sweating now, aren't you? Squeeze metals. X-size metals. Alrighty. Let's just go here. By the way, congratulations to Mr. Tom Stoltman. Sorry if it's a spoiler alert, guys. 3 times world's strongest man. I think I can hold this. I think we can hold for a draw, or if not, a flagging. Take him out to the marketplace and flag him. I'm only slightly down here. It's only slightly down. That's Luke Stoltman. Got a very deep voice. Yeah, if you're a fan of Strongman, what a story. Rook is on a light square. If the king should venture to like here, he's in some trouble because of this move. Okay. We got 15 seconds. How are you going to checkmate me in 15 seconds, mother figure? Huh? Huh? How are you? That's 2 attackers. What are you going to do? 8, 7, 6. You've got to get checkmate, fool. Bang. Defended. I can come up here. 2. Oh, walked into a fork. Bingo! One on time. Dirty tricks. That's what you come here for. All right. Well, I've got a call. That was a... It was a Hail Mary. Yes. And my new rapid rating is 1533. Well done. Okay. See you guys later.